Live from the StreamYard studios in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, it's Between the Lines with Rob Reynolds. Brought to you by Compass Health Consultants. We have a plan for you. Give us a call today at 636-734-8444. And now, Between the Lines. Good morning, everyone. Rob here. Well, it started like this. I had just finished probably my freshman year in high school. And you know how that is. You know everything there is to know by that period of time in your life. And I overheard my parents one evening talking about how it may be time for me to get a job over the summer. And they thought it would be a good idea if I baled hay. So I listened closely and I thought, what? Bale hay? It's going to be 95 degrees. And guess what? This fat boy ain't baling hay. I mean, you're going to have that sweat and those little prickly things. I better come up with something different. So I didn't say anything. They didn't say anything. And I thought about it. I thought, well, you know what I think this town needs? This town needs a snow cone man. I mean, who doesn't like that icy, satisfying, flavorful feeling when it's 95 degrees and about 98 humidity and feels like it's about 300 degrees outside? I mean, who doesn't like to hear that bell when the snow cone man is coming? And it's even better whenever the snow cone man has just about every flavor known to man. So that summer, we made a little trip up to St. Louis and found a place that handles every type of syrup and every flavor you would ever think of. And they had an ice crusher, and they had a ladle, and they had cups, and they had spoons, and they had straws, and they had everything you need to be a good snow cone man. So we loaded up with about 17 of the best flavors you could ever find in a gallon and decided that we would go into that red Willys Jeep with a bell hooked onto the side, and we would be the snow cone man. So I enlisted the help of my sister. She was the producer there in the back. I just drove the vehicle, rung the bell, had a little piece of cotton in my ear so it wouldn't get too damaged there. And we'd take off every day, morning and night, and we would sell snow cones. Now, the pricing was 20 cents for just a snow cone, 5 cents for extra juice. So for a quarter, you got extra juice and the most just satisfying flavors you've ever had. Well, there's a few things that I discovered while we were doing that kind of tells you a lot about what your personality is, what you're like, and more important, what you're going to grow up to be like that, according to what kind of snow cone you like. First of all, let me get this out of the way. The most popular flavor of snow cone is grape. It just is. Now, you can argue about that, but you're wrong. It's grape. What we found out, though, through very intensive data, was that the most popular, what most kids, what's your run-of-the-mill kid, he was out playing, he's all sweaty, and she's all just running and playing hide and seek. The most popular flavor was either grape or cherry. Now, they usually, you could tell if it was just a normal kid and you would say to yourself, huh, that's a normal kid. They would give you 20 cents, take their grape or cherry snow cone and be on their way. Now, sometimes you would get one of these kids that was like way out of the mainstream and they'd want something like root beer. Well, we had it, but you know what? These were kids that you could just tell by looking at them. They had issues. They did have issues. You could just tell. Root beer? What? We hardly knew what that was in Southern Illinois. But now there were other flavors. How about this one? Banana. Woo-hoo! One of my personal favorites, but I tell you, You had to look at somebody pretty strange when they wanted a banana snow cone. I can tell you, you immediately thought, huh, we got to watch this one. There's no telling what's going to turn out here. Banana. And then you had the ones that they might want something totally weird. And they were the type of kid where you thought, I just wonder if I ought to just take this kid down to the police station, right? There's going to be a problem. And then if someone ordered like root beer and lime, now who would order root beer and lime? You would if you were going to be a problem. If you were going to be a problem later on in life, that's what you get, a root beer and lime. Well, there were other things you had to keep in mind. One of those things was sometimes you wanted a rainbow. You wanted a grape, cherry. You could put any 5 flavors you wanted together. Uh, and then you probably would have had extra juice. So a lot of times we would group grape, cherry, lime, orange, and you would just have a rainbow. Well, that wasn't anything except as a kid, you were probably 6, 7, 8. You were confused. You're just confused. Sooner or later, you'd settle on one that you like. But at that point in your life, whenever the snow cone man was sitting there right in front of you, you were confused. Now, you also had the healthy bunch, healthy kids. And probably there's nothing more intriguing than a healthy 6-year-old who would want something like blueberry or papaya. And sometimes they'd go papaya and banana, and you would say, ooh, I'm going to have to send you home, somebody. I don't know what your problem is. And then you got people they were just straight. They'd order no matter what. One color, orange, I'm ordering orange. Well, it's not like you can't argue with that. That's a logical choice right after grape and cherries, orange. Well, we had a lot of those. And what we discovered too, that most kids carried around 2 dimes. But the kids probably they were a little bit better off. Their parents were a little more lenient, a little more I don't know, trusting. Why, they'd give their kid a quarter, and that kid immediately would get extra juice. I mean, if it was extra juice grape, extra juice root beer, extra juice whatever. And then I got to tell you, probably one time a week, you would get this kid who would order either bubble gum or tiger blood. Now, when that happened, you didn't wait to take them to the police station. You immediately called the cops right then, have them pick them up and drive them away. Sometimes they were screaming, but at least they had a snow cone they could chew on while they were headed to jail. Tiger blood and bubble gum, very, very popular flavors. Well, but remember, there's anything to get out of baling hay. Let me tell you what, I'll take a bunch of weirdo root beer lying people than I will baling hay. This body ain't cut out for baling hay. Well, there were a couple things. We like to think of ourselves as a full service snow cone man. We were such full service that one time we were driving down south of town and we passed the log cabin tavern. Well, just like we drove right by it, no big deal. And all of a sudden, coming out of the log cabin, there was somebody that was yelling for us and waving their hands and wanted us to come in there. So we just wheeled right in there and sold him a grape, extra juice, and we were on our way. That's just full service. We didn't know if there anybody else needed to come out and, help us sober up before they went home. But we gave them a grape and off we went. Sometimes we'd go by the bakery and there they'd be waiting for us. They'd want either a banana or something to go with their cake or you never could tell. But we were a full service snow cone man. Now, being the snow cone man didn't come without its hazards. One time we wheeled into the Busy Bee market. We went inside and we got us a soda, maybe a pack of Milk Duds or whatever we thought might want to pull every filling in our head out. And we came back out and there they were. 3 teenagers stealing snow cones. Can you believe that? And I said to myself, I said, you throw those snow cones out right now. Hold it right there. And if you don't stop, the next sound you're going to hear is this bell ringing right over your head when I run you down. Well, they looked at me like, oh, it's a weirdo. I remember him. He used to bale hay. We're sweating. They poured them out right there. And I thought, well, there you go. They won't be stealing snow cones on us. And they didn't anymore, I'll tell you. So I tell you what I want you to do. The next time you hear that little snow cone man coming, you can hear him for miles. We used to have him join us. It looked like a Cardinal ball game. There were so many packed around the Jeep. And we were called the snow cone man with the red Jeep. In fact, I'll bet you that some people listening to this right now bought a snow cone from the snow cone man. And if you didn't, well, you missed a blessing. I can tell you that. So I want you to think about tonight. What kind of a person are you? You're a grape and cherry person, orange person, rainbow person, one of those weirdos with root beer. I don't know why I think that's so weird, but I just thought that was weird. Now, it happened to be one of my favorite flavors, but it got me when a 6-year-old was wanting that. Anyway, I just thought you might enjoy and smile a little bit if you heard about the snow cone man. They don't have snow cone men anymore. They got the full truck. They got every ice cream bar known to man. But every time I see them, I say, you may think you're good, but you're not as good as the old snow cone man. Well, folks, we've reached the end of the line today on Between the Lines. And we'll see you soon online with Between the Lines. So long, everyone.